Hello and good morning. This is video log entry number 20. I have my coffee here as usual. And, of course, as usual, I have my own thoughts. I always have thoughts, obviously, but they're more productive thoughts about how to solve the predicament that I'm in because, well, part of it is actually figure out how to not think as much because that's always been a big issue of mine. I've realized that, the best way, okay, since I do think too much, I feel like I could probably find ways in which I can use it to not provide any friction in my life. I had my thoughts aimed in the wrong direction, and I realized that there are ways in which, I did focus on focusing on the problems of the world is good, but I didn't provide the right balance of focusing on the problems of the world and myself to really do anything here. So I am doing that now, and I was thinking about, obviously, if you want to solve any problems and actually fix them, you need to do things. That was always my issue. I liked pointing out problems and maybe throwing out a possible solution, but I never did things. So I'm trying to be more disciplined, I guess. I'm trying to be more of a quote unquote doer, loving the process, I guess. I am attracted to the people. Every person that I've ever really admired were the doers, really, because I knew that was something I was missing in life. Like George Hotz and Elon Musk and let's see, who's another doer that I admire. I mean, there are a few personal experiences and a few people that I know of that are they just do things, and it's admirable. And I would like to have that quality. So maybe I will implement that into my quality soon. My character, really. And I was thinking, you look at problems and you realize the hopelessness of the world, but you also have to realize that the system that we're in was created by people no smarter than you and I, right? So that means you do have an effect in this world. You can find ways to actually make this place better. So it's just, that used to go through my head a lot. I used to have like this imposter syndrome in my head, which was actually a huge problem of my self-esteem. And I was like, I realized that, I'm not actually an idiot. So I actually, it was weird. I was like in some kind of quantum superposition of like, I thought I was an idiot, but I also thought I wasn't. At the same time, I was like, what's going on in your head? I guess there was like a little bit of cognitive dissonance, and that caused a lot of pain. Being smart enough to change the world, and I was thinking about, ways to stabilize and whatnot, and I feel pretty stable because I'm actually focusing my head on the things that actually matter, finding the right balance of your internal and the external world there was a huge imbalance there, and I think that was actually a huge problem in my life, very huge problem. And now I'm finding the balance, and it's working out just fine for now, at least. I haven't really tested it in the actual world. I'm trying to figure out how to do that now, actually. And I thought I'd focus on a picture, a picture like anything. Everybody has a picture. Elon Musk had the picture of humanity. George Hotz has a picture of technology and artificial intelligence as of now. You have to find a picture or a domain to work in. You can't work at everything at once. I overwhelmed myself because I jumped between one subject to the next, and I didn't really know where to focus. But I think I do have an emotional attachment for humanity. I do. I don't know. Maybe I get it from my mom. She was always a teacher, a social worker, and I feel a little bit more feminine. I think technology is really cool and all, but I also have this emotional connection with humans. So I really don't want to lose sight of them in the picture. I used to make myself believe that I didn't like people much, but I really do. It was just, again, I was afraid of them. I was sensitive, and there are a lot of really nice people out there, good people, and I kind of want to see them happy in this picture that I'm trying to imagine for us, I guess. Finding ways to stabilize. I guess, I was like, I wasn't really in the greatest spot, and I've been trying to put myself out there. I've been trying to be more vulnerable. That's been helping, actually. I was actually more vulnerable towards my parents a couple of days ago. And also this other lady that I met in the city, and she was very nice. She was listening. And I think all I really needed was an ear without any kind of judgment. At least when I try to talk to my dad, he kind of thinks like me, and he always has to throw solutions out that are not necessarily the right solutions for a particular individual, because it's a lot more complex and convoluted than the outer shell of a problem. Or, he wasn't looking deep enough. Obviously, he couldn't. He doesn't. He's not me, so he couldn't solve it. But he thought he could, throw things out that I've already thought of a million times over that didn't work. I just don't like talking to him because when he says stuff like that, I'm like, does he think I'm an idiot? Like that was like literally the first thing I thought of, like in a millisecond was like, okay, I have this problem. But anyways, it's annoying, and I have an ego, and I don't like it because it offends me that he actually thinks that I didn't think of that. So, meditating, of course, and yeah, focusing on income possibilities. I don't really know yet. I'm trying to figure that out. I know what my strengths are, but I have trouble socializing with people. I'm trying to work on that. I really want to. I want to connect with people. Because again, I want to help people. I really do. I have a very soft heart for people. I want to see them happy, and I may not be able to connect with them on the level that they may want me to, but I still want to. Maybe I can. Again, like I was a recluse for way too long. I don't really know how to socialize, so I'm trying to work on that. I may talk to Carrie more. Maybe she can give me tips. I had a therapist a while back, and he was like, yeah, that is actually a huge problem of yours. That's why, I tried going through school, and due to the fact that I couldn't socialize, I just felt empty, I didn't feel any connection with anybody, really. So I was like, what's the point? Just lost, the goal in mind. I was in school because my parents told me I had to do it. I knew where my strengths lied. It was math and physics and computers. I didn't ever had trouble with programming. It was just like second nature to me, really. But I just didn't know where I was going with any of that. So I was just confused, and I knew it was going to happen. It's like that cycle of just not really listening to yourself, like what you actually want, right? I've never understood what I wanted, really. I like things, I can say I enjoy things, and I can say, well, yeah, I guess I want a life in which I can magnify those things that I enjoy. But there's also obviously that's really selfish, and also I think about a world in which I'm just doing math or just reading. It doesn't fill that other part, which is, social connection. And also feeling like you have an impact, an emotion, like an impact that you're emotionally connected with, that I feel like I kind of want that, I want that, and I want all the other things, but I also want that. So I need to figure out how I need to do that to feel more full, I guess, fulfilled, if you want to think of it like that. But yeah, I do want to impact the world in some manner. It doesn't have to be huge. I already mentioned this before, but I want to, get a trash picker and a bucket and just walk around. I've already seen like one or two guys doing that in my area, but I'll find a place that is more neglected, and I'll pick up some trash when I'm not doing anything, or if I'm going to thought loops that are just not really necessary, because I told myself that if I start thinking, I'm going to do instead. I may start thinking while I'm doing, which also happens all the time, because I personally think most activities are pretty absent-minded, but being a doer and all that. Also, I was like the sheer speed that the world is moving right now, it gives me a lot of anxiety. I know a lot of people feel the same way. It's just, you kind of just have to put yourself in it, and then just give yourself a mission, because obviously I'm in a state where I'm kind of in a limbo state, right? My mission in university was to, finish university. I could have done that. I really, if I just lied to myself a little bit longer, I would have been able to finish university, but I woke up from that fever dream, and I'm here now, so... And yeah, this path is going to be more painful, but, I came to that realization, and I said, well, I can't be here anymore. I can't. I had to figure things out myself. And yeah, so that happened. The speed of the world is just, it's hard. You really just have to figure out how to throw yourself back in before you get too psychotic, because, feeling like an outsider in the world does not help. It really doesn't. You have to figure out how to throw yourself back in. And for me, well, it's finding a mission and really just throwing myself into social situations, trying to connect with people, because I've had trouble with that my whole life, and I know I can make it better. And yeah, and I was talking about like, the colors in life again, and there are ways to, there are things that you may not like, but you can kind of change your perspective of things and laugh at the absurdity of it. And I've had a lot of instances. Sometimes I don't even realize it, but I realize my brain is laughing at the absurdity of everything. I was like, where did that come from? But it was just my unconscious thinking to me, tell me that everything's just everything just doesn't. It doesn't. None of it really makes sense. But it is what it is, and I just had to put myself into a lie, and I'm trying to do that before I go crazy. um, yeah, and it is what it is, and that's life. And that's these were the things that I was thinking about today and yesterday. And what did I do yesterday? Actually, what did I do yesterday? I went for a walk. I went down North Clark Street again during the day. Actually, still not bad during the day. It's okay. I went down Broadway. Oh, I went down it anyways. Whatever. Yeah. So I went down those streets, and it's okay. It's okay. I can see why people can be happy in this place, and maybe I can be one of those people. um, I keep saying maybe. I know I can. It's just I have to put myself in that lie like everybody else, right? It's just gonna take me some time, and I'm just gonna have to go through self brainwashing. I'm stubborn. I didn't like other people brainwashing me, so I decided to do my own brainwashing for my head. And it is working. It is making me more positive, and I started doing things. And even though I understood that, there's whatever, it is what it is. And I don't want to break down the structure that I've created. I've done it before. I've torn it all down out of angst and just I don't even know why I self-sabotage it, but I do. And I don't think any therapist can fix this. I really don't. They'll just tell me the same thing over and over again. The problem is a lot deeper than they may think, because I haven't conditioned myself to lie to myself as much as they did. You know what I mean? Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.